I'm Dr. Angela McBurdy of DoctorFlute.com. Today's flute tip is on failure to plan for your third octave notes is a plan to fail. Have you ever played in band, orchestra, or played on a flute solo where you were aiming for a third octave note, a high B, B flat, and when you got there, you totally missed it, like it cracked or didn't come out properly, and you moved on, and nobody's really gonna pay attention to that if it was in band, but you missed it. I have to say, I was going for a high D at a performance with a quartet that I was in, and I did not plan for that high D. I did crack it, and it's been bothering me ever since. So I'm talking about this because it's near and dear to my heart. So our third octave notes are kind of like, I remember a theory teacher talked about the French sixth as being kind of like your little sister. We have to treat it carefully. And that's what I feel like your third octave notes is your little sister. You have to treat them a little bit more carefully than you do your sibling who's next to you in age or something. Your youngest in the family is always treated more special. Well, that's the way our third octave is. We do have to do something different there. Our first two octaves are so similar. We'll change our embouchure. Yes, we have to have some changes. We can't use a middle register embouchure and play great resonant low notes. So yeah, there's some changes. I'm not saying everything is exactly the same, but we have two octaves where we're basically using the same fingerings. Not a huge difference in our air supply, but soon as we go above that high C and we get into that third octave, so all the notes up there, we have to treat them differently. They need more support, so I need to have tighter muscles pushing up on those high notes. They have to be much tighter, and they actually have to lift up. So if I'm going for, like here, that was a high B flat in this Hindemith sonata. I don't know if you could see my flute rises a little bit because my stomach is contracting so that I can get that high note out and not blast it, because it's supposed to be I guess there's a mezzo forte there. It's not soft, but I don't want to blast it out. So if I use that extra lift in my support and push up, then this doesn't have to screech out. I can hold that air in, keep this relaxed, and keep the tone so that it doesn't become shrill. Now, when you're playing a fast passage, this happens to be a relatively slow passage. When you're playing it fast, you have to plan ahead. You have to know that this high note is coming and take the kind of breath you need ahead of time in order to prepare for that. If you are going to the top of that range and you've lost your support because you're running out of air, guess what's going to happen? You're probably not going to get it. You're probably going to miss it. Or it's just going to be one final push and it's going to screech out. It's not going to be the tone and the sound that you're looking for. So when I'm performing and I know that I have this, like after I miss that high D, so that's above your third octave C, that D above there, I wrote in my notes, okay, breathe here and BB, big breath, meaning tank up as much as I can, and then tighten up and hold that air. Sometimes I'll say hold over that to know that I can't use up too much air so that I have enough air to make it to that high D. So you might need to write notes, and then you know what? Practice, practice, practice. You've got to practice doing that. The day before, and you go, wait, I missed that half the time. Because when we're all relaxed, we're going to get it. We always get it. It's when we're in that performance that little niggly doubt creeps in, and all of a sudden you're checking out and you crack it. Instead of going for it, knowing that you have everything, all the tools you need to get that high note to come out. Now, I will show you exactly where that spot was in my piece. So I'm playing with a quartet right now, which is flute, oboe, bassoon, and a piano when we use it. I have the trio and then a quartet with flute, oboe, and bassoon. This particular part was just us three. It's in a piece called Brush Strokes by Alyssa Morris. It's a really cool piece, so go to YouTube and listen to it. Each movement is a different artist. So this one is Monet, and it's all about water. There's a lot of water going, and right here the water got a little bit faster, and you're sort of in the rapids section. And I have to play this high D here. So there's my high B. Then I take a breath. And then it moves on to some rapids, really fast notes through there. But there's that high D. And yeah, while I'm practicing right here, I can get it. But because I missed it in our performance, I know that I've written in that nice big check mark saying, take a huge breath. And I've also just worked at playing that high B to D. Luckily, I get to tongue it because that helps. And it goes to a C sharp after that. So, you know, it's all the good stuff right there. And I get to play it forte, so that's good. But the fingering there, too, is not natural. I don't normally play B to D to C sharp back to B. So I need to make that feel so comfortable that I'm not going to miss it. So where are the high notes that you've missed in your solos? Go find those spots and think, what do you need to do to prepare your mind? You've got to get your head around it, prepare your breathing, get your support ready, and allow your embouchure to be open. Prepare for those high notes. Failure to plan is a plan to fail, and you don't want to have that happen in a performance situation. Hey, we've all performed and not done our absolute best. We all have those times. So I'm not ashamed to admit that I missed that high D. But I'll tell you that that's the only time I'll miss that high D. It won't happen again because I know I need to not let that little niggly doubt, for one thing, creep in. I need to just go for it because I know that I've planned this out. So there's no failure. I have planned. And now I'm going to get that high D the next time I perform it, which is next week. I have another performance on that piece with my quartet/trio, and I will be playing that piece again, and I guarantee I've got my plan in place, and it's going to work this time. You check out where your high notes are, and don't miss them because you've planned it, you've mentally prepared for it, you have your breathing in place, and it's going to work for you. And then go for it. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Go for it. That's today's flute tip.